Hi everyone, how are you? Ashley Ahmadzai here, and I am so excited for our Thought Leader Thursday today. Wait a little bit for people to pop on. Let me get my headset. Hello, hello. If you guys are popping on, drop a comment. Where are you coming from? Oh, there you are, Latha. Perfect. Hello, good afternoon. How are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. How are you?
Good. I am so happy to see you on here. Hi, Amy. Hi, everyone who's coming on board. Good. What a beautiful day. All right, my friends, I am so excited for our Thought Leader Thursday. And to introduce my friend Latha, I actually met her in an entrepreneur group, and I was so blown away by her content and her authenticity and just the uniqueness of what she does. And so she is the moon cycle coach. I love that so much. I haven't seen this anywhere, so I'm so excited to dive into your gifts and your specialty. And she helps women with period issues and also working through infertility. So welcome, Latha.
Oh, thank you so much, Ashley. How are you doing today?
Wonderful. And I'm so excited to learn from you because I've seen a few things from your Facebook Lives, but I'm really excited to see you in person and ask some questions. So let's get started. What is your story? How did you become the moon cycle coach?
Oh, it's an interesting story. So, probably like 7 years back, I was diagnosed with infertility. So, I went to the doctor. I had like periods all over the place, and I had all the issues you can name with a period. I had it. And I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, you know what, you're infertile. So, take birth control for about a year. And once you decide you want kids, come back to us and we will do IUI, IVF, whatever. There are a whole bunch of options for you. So I'm like, no, that's not the way it's supposed to happen, right? Because, our bodies are supposed to be naturally conceiving and stuff like that. So I came back home and I'm like, you know what? I'll take it up as a challenge. Give me an year. I'll try to fix myself. And that is precisely what I did. I started revamping my diet, my lifestyle. I started exercising, yoga, meditation. And guess what? In an year, I actually saw a lot of improvement, but that was not the total answer for me. I realized that the more I did it, I was able to listen to what my body was telling, but it was not the answer for me completely. That is when I started looking into the moon energies, how it starts affecting our period health, fertility health, and stuff like that. And once I started to tune my body to that, I was able to get pregnant naturally. And I was walking 8 miles every single day till the last day of my pregnancy. That's how healthy my pregnancy was. And I had a beautiful home birth. So I was at home meditating and, no screaming, no shouting. I had like essential oils, salt
Really?
lamps, and stuff. Yes.
Wow. I'm going to take your advice for sure. Because
So I was breathing, meditating. I did not have anybody in the room. It was in my bedroom. So I was like, it was a beautiful experience. And then I had my daughter. No stitches, no tears, no cuts. And the moment I had her, I had this raw, divine, feminine energy course to my body for like 3 hours. I was like, it felt like I was unstoppable. Nothing could stop me in the world. And I'm like, you know what? I started with an infertility diagnosis, and this is where I'm right now. And if I can feel this on top of the world, maybe, I should start helping other women do that too. Because, in the course of that 3 years of trying and everything, I had met a whole bunch of women that were going through a hell lot of a horrible time. So that's when I decided, I have to do something about it. And I said, you know what, I just cannot go and tell people right now, you know what, I had this, I fixed myself, so come, I'll teach you about it. So I got certified as a holistic health coach, so that I had some background in nutrition and stuff that was really important. And then now I'm studying to be a naturopathic practitioner. And
that's
yeah,
exciting.
yes. So that's precisely what I do. That's how, I started getting into the moon cycle coaching, and, it's been a wonderful journey.
That's amazing. Gosh, I'm blown away. I am blown away. This is what the world needs. This is the whole point of Thought Leader Thursday. So
Mhm.
let's talk a little bit about what it means to be the moon cycle coach. So when I first heard that, I know that a lot of people are drawn and connected to the energy of the moon. And so where do we start? Like if someone were to work with you, where would you start? Is it tracking your cycle with the moon?
Yeah, yes. that would be the first step, because a lot of us, we are like kind of out of touch with our cycles, so we don't even know where in our cycles we are. And when you start tracking it, and how the moon energies affect our energies, how the moon energies affect our moods and emotions and everything, that's where you get started. So just start tracking your cycle. It doesn't necessarily have to be with the moon. Just start tracking your cycle first, and you go from there.
Yeah, that's so cool because we're like 70 to 80 something percent water. And we know, like, science has proven that the moon has an effect on the tide. So obviously, the moon is going to have an effect on us as well. And so,
Yes.
something I'm learning and investigating even more as well is like new moon rituals and ceremonies. But I love how you take it to the next level because it's not just for setting intentions, it's in getting in tune with your body. That is so, so important.
The thing is, we hear a lot of women have period issues, painful cycles, acne, digestive discomfort, whatever it is, right? It's not all pretty flowers and beautiful stuff there, right? So it's just a simple way that our body is trying to communicate with us, and we are trying to shut it down. Like, take ibuprofen or Advil or something for the pain, and shut up and keep quiet, sort of a message is what we are giving our bodies. But once we start getting in tune, and really start listening to what our bodies are trying to tell us and work towards it, you will notice that in probably like 3 to 6 months time, you will have the most amazing period. And to take it one step further, you can actually harness the energy of your period to give like a jet fuel boost to whatever project you're working on. It could be, a relationship, or it could be a career, or it could be a whole online business thing that you're working on, whatever it is. So it's a wonderful thing. The jet fuel boost is really good. So now it's like I'm actually looking forward to my period, because it really gives me the boost that I'm looking for.
Okay, this is so amazing because most people are really quiet, right? Like I actually went to dinner with a friend and she took a tampon and like put it in her sleeve and then went to the bathroom. And I was like, girl, no shame. Like wave it around. I don't know. What does it take? Like we need to be empowered around our periods. And I love that's something that you offer. So what does it look like to work with you? Obviously, you are established as a coach, and I just love everything that you do. If somebody wanted to work with you, what would that look like? How do you set up your sessions? How?
So my sessions usually last for like 5 to 6 months. That's how long the
Oh, cool.
sessions last, because that's how long you need to kind of get truly in tune with your body. But I break it down into 3 phases. So the first phase, we talk about understanding what your body is trying to tell you, learning how to track your cycles, and it's just about bringing the awareness, because that is where the more awareness you have, the better it is for you to work on your cycles. And the second phase is going to talk a lot about your food, lifestyle, physical detox, because physically, if your body is not ready to handle whatever the energy the moon is trying to send you, because, the moon energies are very subtle. And physically, we are a little bit more, impactful. So, the moment you get that awareness and you're physically ready to handle, then we move on to the third phase, which is all about using energy healing and how to kind of fine tune the uh, body's energy to the energies of the moon. And that is when you'll start seeing amazing results.
Wow, that is so powerful. So let's talk about some client testimonials. You shared your powerful testimonial, but how about some of the clients that you've worked with? What are some results that they've experienced?
Oh, I was actually talking to one friend last week, because I try to keep updated testimonials from my clients. So she's like, you know what, I'll give you a one-line testimonial. I said, what one line? So she said, doesn't matter if you want to get pregnant or not. If you want to get pregnant or not, doesn't matter. You just go to Latha and you'll end up getting pregnant anyways, because she had been trying for so long, and she just started working with me. It was not even on the levels of pregnancy. We were just talking about getting her life a little bit more in order, and that's what she said. And I thought, okay, that's a pretty powerful testimonial. And more than anything, in terms of testimonial, I've had my clients call me first, even before they tell their husbands they're pregnant. And they call me first the moment they have their child. And I'm the first person to receive pictures. So that, I think, speaks a lot of volumes, in terms of client
Mhm.
testimonials for me. That is the happiness
Totally.
feeling that I work for.
That almost made me like tear up a little bit because that's the power, and it shows like a testament to you definitely as a coach in the amount of support that you offer your clients to where they want you to participate in that way as well, you know, to be one
Yes.
of the first to receive a picture. And oh my gosh, so I'm so honored to have you on here because as a psychic, as an empath, and an intuitive, and a light worker in this generation, it is so important to connect with like-minded people and introduce my audience to coaches who are really, really making an impact, but who are walking in the light, they're working in the light, and they are of the highest service of their clients. And so thank you so much for sharing that. And let's talk about PCOS, because I saw that you are working, do you have a program with that you're launching?
Yes.
Because I have PCOS, and it's something I hear a lot of people have. And as a psychic, I've done a lot of energy work, and I've done a lot to work through that area. And I feel like there's still a missing piece that I haven't received yet. So I'd love to hear a little bit about your program and kind of what that offers, and just speak into it in whatever message that people would need to hear about that.
PCOS. I'm personally a person that had a PCOS diagnosis as well, which is why, it led to infertility because I was not ovulating and stuff like that. So the good thing is, having PCOS makes you uh, want to work towards yourself. Because, if you're a person that already has a very beautiful cycle and everything, you wouldn't want to really work with a moon cycle coach, or, try to look for getting your energies in tune with the moon. So having a diagnosis of PCOS will bring you that kind of opportunities to kind of open up and figure out what's going on with you. So with the PCOS diagnosis, it changes only a little bit. It's still the three-phase program that I spoke to you about. But the second phase is going to involve a little bit of an extensive work, because women with PCOS have some sort of digestive issues, like it could be insulin resistance, or it could be stress that has messed up whatever their gut microbiome and stuff like that. So we focus a little bit more on that. And another thing that comes up as a challenge with women with PCOS is when you start tracking your cycles, especially if you're a person that does not have a regular cycle, it can feel like it's all over the place. But once you start working in the three-phased approach, you will start noticing that, towards the phase 3, your cycles will start beautifully syncing with the moon. With PCOS, women's bodies are trying to talk with a louder volume than regular women that have normal menstruation. So the moment you start listening to that, you will start noticing that. Because, for me personally, I did not realize I used to have like cycles all over the place, either 15 days or, it would not show up for 3 months or 6 months. And once I started syncing energies, my energies to the energies of the moon, I realized that, my body was trying to tell me that I am a person that actually wants to ovulate on the new moon and have a cycle during the full moon. That was my cycle. And I did not realize it at that time, but then I realized, women that have something to offer to the world tend to have this kind of a cycle. And because I was not letting my body flow into that mode, it was trying to kind of go somewhere close and then, stop itself and wait till the next full moon. And there are quite a few rituals. And also another thing that I've noticed for women with PCOS is they are women that are more out of tune with their feminine energy
Oh yeah.
compared to other women. So, which is why we start noticing issues like, body hair, facial hair, and the voices are a little bit more of a bass tone rather than other women, because, they are more in tune with their masculine energy rather than the feminine energy aspect. So, we tend to work a little bit more on that. So the first phase was bringing awareness, which is why, you see a whole bunch of PCOS posts on my page.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much. So actually, to what you said, I know for myself personally, I'm a very masculine person. I definitely am. I'm very feminine. I like makeup and to do my hair and pretty colors and stuff like that. But I'm also very masculine. Something that I personally work on is the masculine side, which is where I live most of the time, but the feminine and gentle and ease, and it's finding that balance. So I find it so curious that you mentioned that. I'd love to know your top tips, maybe like top 3 to 5 tips of balancing the masculine and feminine, or just better tuning in to the feminine aspects of your body.
Top tips. Okay, it's going to be an interesting one. So first tip would be to, again, be aware if you're truly a masculine dominant person. So we all have 2 phases of our cycles, right? The time when you start your period all the way till you ovulate, and from the time you ovulate all the way till you get your period. And if you notice, if you're aware of your cycles and if you're aware of your energies, you will notice that women with PCOS tend to like the first half of the cycle better than the second half. It's the second half that they're more complaining about, that they really hate the energies of that time, or they're not comfortable with it. But for women that are more in the feminine part of the cycle, I mean that are in tune with the feminine part, they tend to see that they're more creative during the second half of the cycle. The first half is good because they get to do, be more productive and stuff. We all like to be more productive, but what we don't realize is if you are in the flow, you are more productive than you are when you are in the first half of the cycle. We don't realize that. So for me, really, it's about finding 1 or 2 activities that mean a feminine thing for you. Like for me, right, it's really hard to dance. Dance is something that, you know, people have to literally turn my hands and force me into dancing. So that is something that makes me truly uncomfortable, and that is something that I recognize as a feminine activity. Maybe things like salsa or anything that involves a lot of hip movement is an impossible task for me. So try to find 1 or 2 activities that mean the feminine energy for you and try to do that every day, so that you get more in tune with your feminine energies.
So dancing is one of the ways.
Yes. Not
I
the,
think
no, I don't even know what the dance is. Not the rock kind of dance, but something which involves a lot of flow. It doesn't matter if you're dancing to the music or not, but just get more dancing in your everyday routine. That is for me. For you, it could be something creative. You might be an artist, and you are an artist that likes a lot of squares and angles and lines and stuff like that, and you find it really hard to paint, without a scale or just flowy kind of drawings. Then that is something that you have to do. Or if you're a musician, you find it really hard to create music that is gentle and feminine, then that is something you have to do. So, it really depends on what activity you like, but yeah, do that.
Cool. And that will really, I love your perspective on this. That really, I know for me and a lot of people that I guess the tribe that I attract, it's those lower chakras, like your root and your sacral. And that's where we're holding a lot of that creative energy. And like, I know for me, I love dancing. Like dancing, that's why I giggled earlier. It's like my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing to do, and it's so easy. And that I haven't been doing it enough, and I'll feel like clogged up in that area. So that just speaks to the importance of doing those things that your body is craving, right? And especially in that area, kind of unlocking whatever is like clogging that area to be in motion. Also, like baths. I know taking a bath for me and just like being naked with like the Epsom salt, that helps me tune into my feminine energy as well. Cool. So other top tips.
Other top tips. I would like to ask everybody to maintain a journal. And when we say journal, we are focused on writing something we are grateful for, or writing something that we really absolutely hate. Like today my day did not turn out well or whatever it is. But a lot of times when I have clients that come to me and I say, you know what, journal your emotions, journal your moods, journal your feelings. They come back to me and, sad, depressed, low energy. And I'm like, that happy is also an emotion, right? And joyful is also an emotion. They're like, yeah, but I thought we were supposed to note only the bad things. I mean, only the negative stuff. So it doesn't matter, you get free moon cycle charts on the internet, you just put the date and then you notice, and then just get a feel for what your energy is looking like throughout the month. And then see if you're a person that bleeds closer to the new moon or closer to the full moon, because that can have a impact.
So that's so interesting. If somebody is trying to get their cycle on cycle with the moon, obviously, number one option, they can contact you, right, as a coach and get all of the support. But if they were to take step one, they would look at the moon, they'd see when the next one is, and then track that. And so is just the awareness of the moon and where your cycle is, does that help it sync up?
A lot of times it does. Another thing that helps you sync your cycle to the moon is moon bathing. We all go sunbathing on the beach, but we never do moon bathing. So women need a lot of moon energy. So, just go out for a walk or, I don't know, just do your bikini on the balcony on the full moon night, 3 nights before, 3 nights after, whatever you like. I really like to go out for a walk with my husband during full moons and the days before that, like the whole week. But whatever does that for you, but try to get that moon energy and more skin exposed to the energies of the moon. It really helps think of the cycle.
Interesting. Okay, I've actually heard the opposite. I've heard like for certain people, wherever it is in your star chart, to like stay inside during the moon. So maybe it's like the intuitive aspect.
Um, so where it started, I'll tell you a little bit about that. So if you're trying to get your body to ovulate, they say, sleep in a dark room. Don't let the moon energy fall on you. Sleep in a completely total dark room. And on the day of the full moon, the day before and the day after, open the windows or open the blinds and let the moon energy come into the room. That is for people who are trying to ovulate. But that is only for sleeping. But even before you go to bed, in the evenings, you can just let the moon energy, let your body soak up the moon energy.
Wow. Okay, that's so cool. It's bringing this other aspect of into my awareness that I never ever considered. So, is there anything else that you would love our audience to know about what you do? Like maybe a top question that people ask that would be a good opportunity to answer on this Facebook Live.
Women, they always ask me how my cycles are because I'm the moon cycle coach, right? They always assume that I have the most perfect cycles, which is true for the most part. But there are cycles, when my cycles go a little bit off the routine or, it's not so pleasant. But really, for me, that is an indication that, I'm kind of not listening to what my body is trying to tell me. And I slow down a little bit because, sometimes, you know how it gets, when you're trying to work with clients, sometimes it can get too much and we don't really notice it because, we love doing what we do. And having that kind of energy with you, it really helps because your body is trying to message you and listen to it. And another interesting tip that I really want to tell all the audience is women's cycles are supposed to be the most intuitive duration of their entire month. So I don't know if people are aware of it because most people are still worried about the physical aspect of the bleed and pain or cramps or whatever it is that they're going through. Or even if women don't have that, they're still grossed out by the bleed and stuff. But the interesting thing is we are highly intuitive around the time of our cycles. So it's a wonderful time for you to ask questions about, let's say you're working on a project and you don't have clarity if you should go live this week or, next month. So that is the time for you to ask questions. So, have a journal and have a small ritual, a beautiful ritual, have a sacred space, keep the energy clean, and then sit and relax a little bit, deep breaths and stuff like that. Or if you like salt baths, you can do that too. Do that and then write your question in the journal. And I can tell you with 100% confidence that, every single question I've written down, I've always had an answer. And that was the best decision that I could take for that situation.
Wow. Do you recommend an app to track your cycle or do you just keep it in the journal?
I usually like to keep it in the journal because I have an Android phone. The app that I like is not available on Android.
Oh.
So, but if you're an iPhone user, there is an app called My Moon Time. That's a wonderful app.
Okay, perfect. So thank you so much for being on here. If people are interested, anyone struggling with PCOS, infertility, just wanting to better understand your divine feminine and your periods as well, how can they contact you?
You can go to my website, sacredfemininecycle.com,
Okay.
and there should be a contact me form. You can use that. Or you have me tagged in the video, so you can use Facebook too.
Perfect. And we'll post that below in the comments and above. Do you do a clarity call first?
Yes, I do.
Okay, perfect. So if anyone has questions, they can go to that link and they can contact you wherever that leads them. Perfect. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them below. I know we'll be answering after the video as well. And so with that, because this is the Mediocre to Magical Academy, I'd love one tip that you can offer our audience to empower them to elevating their life from mediocre to magical.
If there's one thing that I would say, mediocre to magical life, meditation is something that has transformed my life. So that is something, especially, the moment you open your eyes, if you can do like a simple 5-minute gratitude meditation, I think that has been life transforming for me. So that is one thing that I would really like to tell everybody.
Perfect. And I've seen some of your Facebook Live videos. They're amazing on the chakra system. If people want to access those, will they be able to find them on your personal page?
Not the live videos. They're all on my group. But if you have any questions on the chakras, because, I'm an energy healer as well. So I would love to, I would be more than happy to answer any questions for you. Because right now I'm working on a Kundalini awakening meditation. So I'm going to talk all about it, which is why, I've not been on Facebook for the last couple of weeks. I had like immense energy downloads.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, that's so, so exciting. Well, if you guys have any questions, you know where to find our beautiful, amazing friend. And with that, thank you again so much for hopping on. We are so honored to have you a part of the Mediocre to Magical Academy. And I will see you soon, friend.
Yeah, thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Yeah, you too. Bye, everyone.